Hello there and welcome to El Loco for Leeds. My name's George. Welcome along to the channel, and today I am previewing the Burnley game on Sunday, and I'm delighted to be joined by Adam from the Nonay Never podcast. Adam, how are you going, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you. Looking forward to the game this weekend. Hoping Burnley can pick up the first points of the season.
Aye, absolutely. Let's see how it goes. Obviously, I'm hoping that you don't, but we'll have a chat. We'll see your thoughts. I'm fascinated to hear your thoughts on the game, mate. So, first of all, obviously it's early season. The transfer window is still open. What do how do you rate Burnley's transfer business so far this summer?
So it got off to a really good positive start when we brought Nathan Collins in, a young centre-half from Stoke for £12 million. And I think everyone at that point thought we were going to have a really fruitful summer. It's the first proper chance the new owners have had to spend some cash in a window. We know January is difficult, and we didn't do anything in that window, but it started really well. And then Wayne Hennessy on a free, really wise signing. We've struggled when Pope hasn't been in the team previously, and we've had Bailey Peacock-Farrell, who it's just not quite worked out for. I don't think he didn't make any mistakes, glaring errors, but the defence just didn't seem to have confidence in him, and we just conceded some really soft goals when he were net at the back end of last season. And I think Wayne Hennessy's performance last night in the League Cup, and obviously performances for Palace over the years, have shown us that he'll be more than capable if needed this season. And then, other than that, it's been pretty disappointing. We've not been able to add any wingers earlier. Obviously, we've got Aaron Lennon in on a free after he left us at the end of the 19-20 season. At this stage, it's just about getting numbers up, and it definitely strengthens our options off the bench. But we've got been strongly linked with Maxwell Cornet from Lyon. Apparently, a bid's been accepted, and that'd be a signing to actually get us excited about, which we've not had for a while. So hopefully we can get that one over the line. I think we still need numbers on top of that. If we get any injuries this season, we're going to be injury suspensions. We'll be really struggling. So it's probably at the moment a 3 or 4 out of 10 for the transfer business. But like you said, we're still early days. We've still got a few days to go. Hopefully we can get a couple more in before the end.
Yeah, I've been reading about the Maxwell Cornet rumours, and obviously I've been following it because I think we were linked previously with him, and obviously we got Firpo. But is that a position? Is he left? He's left-sided, isn't he?
He's a left.
Yeah.
He's a left winger, which obviously we've got Dwight McNeil, who's our probably most creative force on the left wing. But I think what it allows us to do is be more flexible with what formations we play. There's been a lot of talk on the Burnley fan sites about moving McNeil into like a number 10 role behind Wood, and then having Corney on the left wing, Goodmanson on the right. But with Goodmanson, I think he makes a really big difference to our team, really brings some balance to the side, but he's just had injuries on and off for the last 2 or 3 years. He's just not had a run. So at least with Cornet, we've got if he comes in, it'll give us more depth in an area where we've struggled recently. So really excited about that one. Hope it happens.
Yeah, it seems quite a good bit of business that if it goes through. And you mentioned obviously Aaron Lennon there, which obviously as Leeds fans know plenty about, really. And it's good to see him back in the Premier League, to be fair. I always rated Lennon. I was quite sad to see him go at, such a young age. But as he was then, he was young and he was wanting to play Premier League and everything like that. But he's a tiny little player. But what do you reckon and you mentioned Peacock Farrell as well, Adam, which, we were quite happy to see go, I think, as Leeds fans as well. And we profited quite well off those sloppy goals you mentioned at Turf Moor at the back end of last season, didn't we? Really, but.
Yeah.
What do you reckon to your start to the season then, Adam? Obviously, it's been a little bit disappointing, but how do you rate it? Did you see yourself getting anything at Liverpool? Obviously, you did last season. How do you rate the kind of the start?
Yeah, so I think our season's going to be defined with how we do against the teams that are probably going to be in and around us. So the Brighton home game was the major disappointment because we started very well, played really, really well in the first half. Should have been 2 or 3 goals clear. We hit the post, hit the bar, which bounced down onto the line. And we were disappointed to be going in 1-0 up. And then the big difference, which is probably not surprising given what I've just said about the transfer business, was Brighton made changes that made an impact to the game. Off the bench, brought Lallana on at half-time. They kept the ball a lot better. And then brought on Moder, I think it was, and Alexis McAllister. Moder got an assist, McAllister scored, and we just didn't have any options to change. We just had like for like on the bench, and we were really disappointing. That did feel like one that got away. Liverpool, I think, are a lot more pleased with the overall performance. We set up and played in a way that's seen us get results at some of the big grounds in recent seasons, and we just got outdone with a couple of good bits of quality, and you can't really argue with the full-time score. Liverpool had quite a few chances, but a lot to be positive about from the way we performed in that game. So Leeds, it's already looking like a big game for us on Saturday. You don't want to go into the international break on 0 points, no matter who you are. So, yeah, hopefully we can turn the performances into goals and points at the weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a big game for us as well, Adam. Obviously, we haven't won either of the 2 games to start with. It's a big game from our point of view as well. I mean, what you mentioned there, the season's going to be defined on. I think it is for us as well, mate. Defined on the games against that kind of teams like Brighton, your teams like Burnley, because at the end of the day, we want to stay in the Premier League first and foremost. We had a good season last time, but we start again and we want to stay in the Premier League. So what are the aspirations from a Burnley point of view? What would be a good season, basically, for you guys?
I think for some Burnley fans might disagree with me on this, but I think every season, being Burnley, you are going to be every chance you're going to be in and around those bottom 6, 7 teams, and there's no right to say that we definitely deserve, like, we're definitely going to stay up any season. So yeah, first priority, try and get to 40 points and survival. And then just see what we can do, push on from there. In the 5 previous seasons, we've had 15th, 16th, 17th, and then a 7th and a 10th. So it has really been a mixed bag. But after the two first games and our transfer business this summer, it's hard to see how we're going to progress too far up the table. So he offered me 17th again now. I'd happily take it, and another year in the Premier League. Like I said, other Burnley fans might be a bit more optimistic than that, but
it's good. It's a good sign out of that you're signing players like Cornet for 15. Is it about 15 million euros?
Yeah, so I think it'd be the most we'd spent in a transfer window if that goes over the line with Collins as well. So yeah, there are positive signs there that we can loosen the purse strings a bit more with the American owners compared to the local businessman that we had in before. I think he was really stretching to be able to compete at all at this level.
Yeah, it's a well-run club, to be fair, and given a little bit of an injection, which they seem to have done from the American side of things. You might be able to in the next few seasons be able to, like you say, loosen the purse strings a bit and get some quality players in, because Cornet coming from Lyon, bit of a statement, really.
Yeah,
For,
if it happens.
if it happens. But like I said, I've
Yeah.
been following it a little bit, Adam. Because we were linked with him, and then obviously we ended up getting Firpo from Barca. So I've been following it a bit. And are Burnley going to get him and this kind of thing. But talking about the game on Sunday, isn't it, Adam?
Yeah, Sunday.
Initially, firstly, will you be going to the match, Adam? Or have you been to any of the games so far this season?
Yeah, I'm a season ticket holder, so I'll be going to the majority of home games. I don't get to as many away games as I used to with family commitments these days. It happens to everyone, I think, but try to get to as many as I can away from home. But I'm actually going to the game this weekend with my mother-in-law, who's a Leeds fan.
Oh.
So obviously my dad's. I normally go with my dad, but he's offered the ticket to my mother-in-law, and I'm pretty sure she'll behave. So
Yeah, well, so she's going to have to if you sat in the Burnley end, aren't you?
yeah,
But,
well, there might be a few in the Burnley end. You don't know,
yeah,
because we've been struggling to sell all our tickets at the moment. So
yeah, there's always one or two that manage to creep in into the home end.
yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it's what is the just on a note of the fans coming back in, Adam? What are you looking forward to? Is it your first time back at Turf Moor since the pandemic?
Yeah, I was there for the Brighton game, and
Oh, yeah.
just the whole match day experience. Just getting ready, getting to the ground, just being in there with the fans, and just all the simple things I think you appreciate. And yeah, even though it wasn't the great end result, it was brilliant being back at Turf Moor. And even I managed to get to the last game of last season with a limited crowd in the ballot, but still with 3,000 there compared to 17,000 I think we had on against Brighton, it were a big difference. And yeah, there's nothing like it. It's
brilliant, mate. I mean, it's a tight little stadium as well, Turf Moor, isn't it? It's you can really feel the noise coming from.
Yeah, it echoes nicely in that away end. If now we've got half and half in the away end, haven't we? But it's always a good atmosphere in there, and obviously, especially when Leeds come to town, they're always one of the louder sections of fans. And it looked buzzing bouncing at Ellen Road on Saturday. So, and obviously you're not struggling to sell tickets at all at the moment, are you? So it must have been brilliant.
They're a bit like gold dust, to be fair. If you get your hands on them, you've won the lottery kind of thing, really. I mean, I wasn't there. I haven't been there for any of them this season yet, but it looked, and from what I've heard, it was a fantastic atmosphere. So, but going on to matters on the pitch, though, Adam, and speaking about, the game itself, who do you see, who should we see as a bit of a threat to Leeds? I mean, obviously we know a little bit about there's few connections of Leeds past players, but who do you see as the main threat that we should look out for?
I think our main threat since we've signed him from Leeds has been Chris Wood. If he's firing, then the team's normally performing and picking up points. The problem he's got is we don't create a lot of chances. So when they do come along, we are relying on him to put them away. And for me, he's the first name on the team sheet. He's had his critics over the last couple of years, but if he gets a chance, he's more than likely putting it away. So McNeil's obviously the danger man for us. He's got a bit about him and a bit of trickery and creativity that head and shoulders above all our other players going forward. So we've relied a lot on those two for our goals and assists the last 2 or 3 years. So, and obviously from set pieces, we're always a threat with Tarkowski and me. Try to put a lot of pressure on the opponent's goalkeeper. I think in large, Leeds dealt with it pretty well last season. I think at Ellen Road, one of our better away performances without actually getting anything. Surprised how much possession we actually had, and I thought we suffocated you a lot of the game. Obviously, the pitch wasn't helping your style of play at the time.
Yeah.
And you had Calvin Phillips and Stroik, I think it was, at centre back, and Phillips were man of the match at the end of the day, and he were out of position. He were absolutely phenomenal that game. And I thought it'd be a similar story at Turf Moor, but it was, I think it was nip and tuck until obviously he got the first goal just before half time, and then we had a good chance with Vidra, good save by Meslier, and straight away up the other end, I think it was Harrison, scored the second, and after that just tore us apart. You don't want to be going 1-0 down, 2-0 down to Leeds, because the team you've got can really, really punish you, and it just exposed us big time when we went behind in that game. So I think the first goal is massive this weekend, as it always is, but you don't want to be playing against a team like Leeds going one goal down.
But I think as on the same token, Adam, it's the same from our side. You know, you don't want to be going one down to a team like Burnley, because you guys know how to defend. You know how to defend the lead, and you play that kind of. You can play the ugly side. You've got some big lads in that defence who will make it hard for you to get through. It wants defending the lead.
Yeah, I think that is true, and over the last 3 or 4 years that really has helped us. But there's been signs at the end of last season and again at the start of this season, we've actually thrown away a lot of leads. We've been 1-0 up in a lot of games. We were 2-0 up at Southampton, and we've not managed to put in the Dyche Burnley-like performance to see us over the line. So it'd be really good. I can't wait for our next 1-0 grinding win where we're struggling to watch, but we do all the right things defensively, because there's I think Dyche has commented there's been a big gap between our defensive midfield sometimes, and we need to close that. And that should solve some of our problems. But yeah, hopefully we can get back to what we are good at and start picking up them tight wins again.
Yeah, well, it was like you mentioned that game in December at Ellen Road. It was exactly what I'd expected before the game you guys to do to us, what we kind of did to you. We got that early penalty. We rode us luck at times. We weren't very good there. Like I said, the pitch really didn't help the way we were playing. And we really ground it out. But, you know, going back onto the Leeds team for a minute, Adam, and from your perspective, who do you see as the danger for you guys on Sunday afternoon?
I think the obvious one is Rafinha. The way he's taken to the Premier League has been, he's just been fantastic. I thought you'd even struggle to hold on to him this summer, but I think it shows how well you're doing and how far Bielsa's taken you. That there's not been many links at all, but you can't take your eye off any of them. There's Harrison on the other side. Can be top class on his day, and then even he's kind of a forgotten man sometimes. And he'll could just come up with a brilliant goal from outside the box just to change a game. And Bamford obviously didn't have a great time with us at all, and he's proven me and I'm guessing quite a lot of people wrong, probably including Leeds fans. Yeah. I didn't think he'd make the step up last season, and he performed miracles. He just looked a completely different player to the one I remembered, and even the one that I'd watched in the Championship for a couple of years before on a lot of your televised games. I thought he was fantastic, and really unlucky to miss out on that England squad, the provisional squad at the end of last season. And obviously he's got his call up now, which I think's thoroughly deserved.
Yeah, I mean, I think he does deserve it, Adam, and like you said, he proved a lot of Leeds fans wrong, definitely proved me wrong. But I still think he can improve in the game slightly. But under Bielsa, he's really elevated his performance. You know, not just goals, it's assists now. He's getting involved in play, not just goals. He's a brilliant player, fully deserves it, and obviously didn't have a good time at Burnley and a few other Premier League clubs beforehand. But he's really come good now, and he can hurt you on the day if he gets the service. We've seen particularly in the early games this season, definitely at Man United at Old Trafford, he didn't get the service, and when he don't get the service, he's marked out the game. You can't, you just can't get the ball. But hopefully, from our point of view on Sunday, he gets plenty of chances, plenty of goals. Maybe top that call up off with a goal and a win on Sunday. But bringing me nicely to your prediction, Adam. What do you think? What do you reckon the score's going to be on Sunday?
I've got to back a Burnley win.
Of course, I'd be disappointed if you didn't, mate.
I'll go for 1-0, and what we've been hoping for, and our first home win since January.
Oh wow! I didn't realise it being so long. Actually,
if you beat us, you'll have won more times at Turf Moor this year than us.
Oh crikey! Yeah, you're right. Oh dear me! You really don't want that, do you? As an away side coming and beating you more times than you can, particularly with the fans in there. But
I know plenty of Leeds fans myself, so you don't. I work in Bradford, went to school in Halifax, so there's quite a lot down the years. Grew up with Leeds in the Premier League, Burnley in Division 2, and I think it means quite a lot to me personally, and I think it does to Burnley fans anyway, and probably a lot of fans over the country to beat Leeds. So any victory over the years have been celebrated more than a standard one. So it'd be really nice if we could do that, and I'm really looking forward to playing against Leeds in the Premier League with fans there. Obviously, it happened last season, and I'll know a few people in the stadium on Sunday, and I know some really, really good friends of mine that will be there watching that game. And it's been things we've talked about for 15, 20 years, and it won't be as special for Leeds fans. I know it won't, but if I could see Burnley beat them, then there'd be a lot of people I'll be messaging on Sunday evening.
You'll be right on your phone straight after full time. But it does, I'd love to. It does make, with the fans in, Adam, with it being so long since the fans have been in a Premier League game for us. Personally, I think it's a big season for us, and a lot. Really looking forward to any game, any away day. It's a great day. Go down to Burnley and see what we can get. But I'm sure everybody going will have a fantastic day, and I hope you have a good. You are the right side. You have a good sort of day with your mother-in-law there as well. It'll be quite a tricky day for you, mate, if we go and beat you. But I hope you enjoy it. But it's been great to chat with you, Adam. Anyway, and like I say, you enjoy the game on Sunday, but don't enjoy it too much, mate. I don't.
No.
I don't want you getting those 3 points. But it's been great to have you on. And thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot for having me on. What's your prediction, by the way? Just to get.
I'm going to go with 2-1 Leeds. Like you, Adam, I don't want to back against Leeds, so I'll go 2-1. I think the first goal, you're right, is proper. That'll make or break the game, basically. If we get the first goal, then we might go on and score. If you get the first goal, we've then got we've got a battle, particularly away with your fans up and going through. It's going to be a really tough game, this one. More so, obviously, with the fans involved. So I'm excited for it. It's we need, like I say, we need the win going into the international break. You need the win, so it's going to be a right battle at Turf Moor, I think. And
yeah, let's hope so.
May the best team win, mate. May the best team win. Okie dokie. Take care, Adam.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye.